Good morning, beautiful people of the world. Good morning. It is Monday, November 17th, 2025. Oh, it's a lot of November birthdays. Yesterday was my cousin's birthday. I haven't talked to him in almost 9 years. The last time I talked to him was when my father passed. He's my little cousin. He's got to be 40 now. But this is on my dad's side. His mother is my first cousin. He's my second cousin. But I didn't even wish him a happy birthday. I know that's horrible, ain't it? I don't have a phone number for him. We're on Facebook together. So I guess I'll send him a message saying happy birthday to him. Wednesday is my sister's birthday. And my sister got a very nice present from Meadow Shrub. Meadow Shrub sent my sister a birthday gift, you all. He is just, I'm telling you, that's why can't nobody fuck with Meadow Shrub. On GP, can't nobody fuck with Meadow Shrub. My sister was shocked. I mean, shocked. I videotaped it. And I was thinking about putting it up here on YouTube. But I wanted to ask him first if he was okay with that. But he did. He gave her a birthday present, and she was like, who is this from? And I gave her her painting that he made for her, and she was blushing. She was just so shocked. She was like, he got me a gift? Really? Why? I videotaped her opening of the gift that he gave her. And you know, this is why, like I said, and I'll say it again, and it's not just Meadow Shrub, it's all of you all that are near and dear to my heart, that are sweet and continue to show up and continue to do things for me and my son, and your concern for my mom, asking about my mother when she was sick with the cold when we came back from the cruise, you know, being so intentional. You know, to all my moderators that sit on my live for 2 and 3 hours, even for an hour, you know, who could be doing something else with their time. You know, we all are busy. Everybody's life is busy. We all got something going on. You know what I mean? And we just all got something going on. And, you know, I'm just grateful and thankful for the friends that I have here on YouTube. For those of you that really reached out yesterday, Sunshine emailed me and wanted to send me parking stickers that she had from the University of Chicago for my friend whose grandson is sick, which I'm gonna give you all an update about him. And you know, and Meadows dealt me some money for her. I sent it directly to her last night, and she just was like, I am at a loss for words. She was like, girl, she was like, you know how to reach people. You really know how to reach people. She said, I never ever expected for you to, you know, tell your subscribers about me. And she didn't even know. She doesn't watch my YouTube channel. As a lot of people who I'm friends with, they're subscribed, but they don't watch. You know, they don't watch me consistently or even at all, but they're subscribed, right? And most of those people see me on Facebook. They don't watch YouTube, you know, because some people like to watch YouTube and they just like to watch short videos or videos that are short videos, or you know what I mean? So, I was wondering why everybody stopped. So a lot of people don't watch me, but they watch my content on Facebook, you know. So she was just saying that she was just really shocked that she had no idea that, you know, people would, you know, reach out to her. I said, or do what they did. I said, you know, we all got to help each other. We can't look for the government to help us. My mother say this all the time. You can't look for the government to give you shit. You can't look for these programs to give you nothing. We have to help each other, you know, and that's the truth. We really, really have to help each other, because this is why God put more than one person on earth. Just imagine if he had just put you or just me on the earth. Who would help you? Who would help you? Because at the end of the day, and I hate this saying at the end of the day, but the real truth and the real fact of the matter is that it's me today and it's you tomorrow. It's you today and me tomorrow, or whatever the case may be. I guess what I'm saying is that we never know what's going to happen in our lives. We never know what thing is going to come up that we're going to be faced with and we're going to have to deal with, and how we're going to deal with it. You know, we deal with daily challenges every day. Some small, some not as small, some not as big, and some that are just big, and then some that are humongous. And this is a humongous thing that is going on right now in their lives. And he's a little boy. Like I said, to have open heart surgery that young, there has to be an issue, some sort of issue for him to have this kind of serious surgery. And being a mother, I've never been a grandmother, but my mother is a grandmother, and my mother said her grandkids, her 3 grandkids, are just like her own. But being a mother and having been through what they're going through, and even though Christopher's heart surgery was not as extensive, praise God, as this little boy, but same thing. You know, they told us that he had a heart murmur, that he had a hole in his heart, that he needed to have it done before he had a growth spurt. They told us that he needed to do it before he went through the growth spurt. They said a growth spurt would start like at 11, like between the ages of 11 and 12. And I think Christopher was 11. He was 10 or 11 when he had it. So he had to have it right away. Okay, right away. They told us that it was the size of a nickel. Come to find out, it was the size of a quarter. You know, and I remember how I felt sitting in that waiting room, waiting for them to come out and tell me that he was done. And so that was antagonizing for me. He had to stay in the hospital overnight to be monitored. They went in through his growing area to push that umbrella, the device into his heart, and push it up through the growing area all the way into the heart, and then to place it in the heart. So he definitely had, he had surgery. But to know that this little boy had to have what was supposed to be 6 to 7, which turned into 14 hours, then to have so many complications, pneumonia, his lungs have collapsed, he's in an induced coma. I mean, it's just been, they had to reopen him up again, and so he's been to surgery twice. It's a lot. And then the healing process that will come with that. Her daughter, I don't know if she took a leave of absence or she took some weeks off from work. My girlfriend, she said she was at work yesterday. She was like, I gotta work. She was like, because, I'm supporting her and trying to feed her, the park. They're at Laurie's Children's Hospital, you all. Remember I said yesterday I was gonna try to find out what hospital. So that's where they're at. They're at Laurie's Children's Hospital downtown. And parking. The hospital don't give you nothing, and so that's, again, going back to what I said, we have to help each other, because there's nobody else to help, and it's unfortunate, but it's true. So I just wanted to do something. I couldn't do much. I just paid this morning when I woke up, I paid my light bill, which was $269. And then tomorrow I've got to pay the gas bill, which is $194. Yes, so I'm Ubering Christopher to school every day. This week I have to Uber him 5 days a week this week. My mother has a doctor's appointment Friday. Day is Monday, and she can't take him to school. On Friday, she takes him and picks him up because he has an early day. But Friday, she can't take him. So instead of Ubering him 4 days a week this week, I'll be Ubering him 5 days a week. And it's $21 to $22 to $23. It changes, you know, depending on the day. It seemed like Monday is cheaper. The middle of the week is higher. Go figure. So that's expensive. You know, I ain't even been to the grocery store. Probably won't get there no time soon. We ain't got nothing in the house to eat, but you know, whatever. I mean, it ain't like Christopher eats. You know, I make sure he eat. He wants to go get his hair cut Wednesday. My mama said she'll pay for that. You know, I mean, it's just always something, you know. And so, like I said, I sent the money last night to her via text, Zelle, from Meadow. Meadow sent her some money. And she just said she was just at a loss for words. And she just said that, you know, they're not struggling, but they get to that point, you know, food, because the daughter, they got to eat while they're at the hospital, you know. So if my $50 help with parking and Meadow's money help with parking and food, you know what I'm saying? And I think somebody on here asked about her Cash App. She did give me her Cash App. And so she wanted me to thank you guys from the bottom of her heart. Her daughter doesn't know yet, but she sent the money that Meadow sent directly to her daughter's account, so her daughter can get her some food while she's there at the hospital with the baby. You're not a baby, but you know, the little boy. And she just told me that she's going to reach back out to me. They're going to, you know, do something to thank us. And she just wanted me to thank you all for your intentions, and for those of you that want to do but maybe can't do, and those of you that are just praying, sending up a prayer. She just wants, you know, she said it's not even about sending them money. It's about, she just needs everybody to pray for this little boy. So the prayers of the righteous availeth much. Amen, somebody. So she sent me a text last night and told me that he is stable and that the doctors are coming up with a solution for his lungs, because his lungs have collapsed. So they're trying some other type of medicine to get him where he needs to be. So I will continue to update you all with that story about Nazir, that's his name. Just call out his name and just ask God to heal his body, to heal his little body. He's such a, you know, and I'll find out his exact age, but he's such a cutie pie. And like I said, even if you haven't had a child that hasn't gone through something as extensive as what this little boy is going through, but we all feel for somebody. You know, we all have a heart for somebody. You know, we all have we all can feel what somebody else is going through, whether we know that person or not. I guess that's what we're saying. And you know, like I said, if God had just put one of us on the earth, you know, who would help us? And when people say that there's no God, you know, I just don't know how you can even part your lips and say that, because God is me, God is you. That's who God is. He's me, he's you. So when you say you don't believe in God, that means you don't believe in yourself. When you say you don't believe in God, that means that you're saying that you don't believe in what he has done for you. Because God is real. And he shows up every day in all of us. So when you're feeling down, when you're feeling depressed, when you're feeling like you can't make it, just remember, God is you. And God will give you the strength that you need. And I also want to send a prayer out for Sunshine. Sunshine emailed me about the parking passes yesterday. You all heard her mention that on the live. And she was telling me that, and I hope I'm not getting it wrong because I can't remember, but I remember her saying that the reason why she had the extra parking passes was because her significant other, someone that she loved, I believe it was the boyfriend, he died of cancer, and she's still struggling with that. And then yesterday she said that she was down because she lost another dear friend. So say a prayer for Sunshine. She's one of my ride or dies over here on YouTube, and so just asking that you all pray for her, pray for strength and comfort for her in a time of her mourning, and for that family that lost their loved one. And as I said, and as I say on this channel all the time, we just don't know what anybody is going through. We don't know. And so when foolishness comes over here and people want to be combative and people want to be nasty and rude, when we meet the K. McMichaels who want to use words like hideous and being mean and nasty, we don't have time for you. Go to the pit of hell and burn. And I mean that sincerely. Okay? Because we all are dealing with too much. We all dealing with trauma. We all dealing with something. We've all lost somebody or getting ready to lose somebody. And every day you just don't know what's going to happen. We don't know what we're getting ready to face. We come out of one storm, we go into another storm. We come out of this storm, we going into another. The sun starts to shine, and then it get cloudy. Then it's dark all over again. So if you got time to write and write stupid stuff or mean stuff or nasty stuff, it's amazing to me how when you clap back, people want to talk about you being evil, but they don't see the evil in them. When I clap back on Kay, she, then I'm evil. I mean, but you being what you said wasn't evil and mean. So only you have feelings. So you didn't think about my feelings when you wrote that word. And not just her, the whole gamut of people that come on here and say all the stuff that they said. I was on live the other day. This man kept opening up YouTube accounts just so he could come over and be nasty. You a sick individual. Kay is a sick individual. I do, and I clap back and talk about you all like a dog, just like you all come over and talk about me. You don't care about my feelings, I don't give a fuck about yours. I promise you I don't. Yeah, I talked about your dead ass mama because I don't care. And we tired of you talking about our mamas. Who the fuck is we? Who is we? I don't know you and I don't know your mama. I don't know if you real or she dead or she ain't dead. And just using this as an example of how people are always the victim in every situation but take no responsibility for what they do. See, what people, and I'm sure I'm not the first person she's done this to or any other people, but the other people are on YouTube that they do this to don't say nothing back. You understand what I'm saying? They don't say nothing back. But the fact that I say stuff back and have said stuff back, now, I can't believe she responded. Yeah, bitch, I did. I did. If you come on my shit and you that bold and you that comfortable with saying something to me, baby, I'm just that bold to come back and tell you about your ugly tattoos or your ugly ass mama or any other thing. Don't fuck with me, because I ain't fucking with you. You've been on here watching me for eons. All the way when I was living in the apartment, this bitch was watching me. You know what I'm saying? So it ain't like this the first time you ain't seen me or you ain't never heard me go in on a motherfucker. You have. So you should have known what you was going to get. And I'm just not going back to talking about this bitch, but just giving you all an example of how people are such victims in situations, but take no responsibility for what they do. You have to take responsibility. Whether you right or you wrong, you got to take responsibility. You got to. You can't come on nobody's platform and talk about them and call them names and think that ain't nobody going to come back and look you up and call you one. I sent her photos to so many people, they tired of looking at her. I didn't tell you all what I was going to do with the photos. I ain't did it yet, but I have a plan of what I am going to do with them. But I'm just saying, stop fucking with people. Leave people alone. Because people are dealing with real stuff. People are dealing with real issues. And ain't nobody got time for nobody's bullshit. I ain't got time for yours, and you ain't got time for mine. Because every day you get up and you wake up, you got to deal with something or someone or some situation. So, if you don't like me, ain't no love lost. I don't even know you. You don't do nothing for me. You're not in my life. You're not in my world. I don't think about you. I don't care about you. I promise you I don't. And every time I come on live, there's some ignorant ass, slow, lick the window, negotiated their way on the earth person. All the time. We shouldn't have to hide you. We shouldn't have to. We really should not have to hide you. Because you're an adult. But I thank God for the people that are there that enjoy the live. I thank God for the people that enjoy my content. I thank God for the people who sincerely love me and care about me and don't even know me and have never met me, but watch this content and have got to know me and my family, and you really care about me. I thank you all. I really, 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 really do. I really do. I cannot say it enough that you all are some real gems. The way that you all want to be helpful, the way that you all want to not just help me, but help others around me that I love and care about. You all sit here, you all listen to these stories, you all listen to what's going on in my life, and I just appreciate that. I just appreciate that, because you could be anywhere else doing anything else, but you're here. And I know that a lot of times when we're live, and we talking and we getting to know each other, and you all are writing comments, because that's how we get to know each other. You all have to be subjected to the BS with these narcissists, with these K. McMichaels, with these crazy comments and all of this BS, and it's unfair, to you all. And I hate that you all have to experience that, and it's unfortunate, but, and I apologize for that. I'm apologizing for the behavior of other people that, that I don't even really have to apologize for, but I'm apologizing for them, because it's just sick and it's just stupid and it just makes no sense. It's so unnecessary. It's just so unnecessary. It's just so unnecessary. Seems like I just left this damn place, I swear. I'll be right back. My sister was teasing me Saturday when we went to the party. She was teasing me. She said I didn't even know that was your car. She said it was so clean. I said, really? She said, well, the last time I saw it was pretty dirty. I said, yeah. I said, and then it snowed. I said, and I had to get that salt off the car. She said, well, I know it's expensive going to the car wash. I said, yeah, it is. I said, it was $40 some. Y'all remember, y'all was with me. I was on live. It was $45. They went up under. They got all the salt from up under, and it's still clean. It is still clean. It's still shining. She said, that's why I didn't recognize it. She said, where did you take it? So I told her, because the other car wash that she told me to go to, they were all Hispanic people or Venezuelan or whatever. Well, it's closed. So I don't know if ICE got them or what's the, I don't know. But it's been closed for a while. So I think ICE might have gotten them. Unfortunate situation. So anyway, so I told her where I had took it, and I told her how much it cost. And she was like, damn. I said, right. I said, exactly. She was like, $45? I said, yep. She said, remember when a car wash was $20 and $25? I said, girl, not now. Not today, it ain't. She was like, geez. I said, girl, I know. So, Alyssa's so dry. So yeah, so people are just dealing with too many stresses and too many things, and ain't nobody got time to be dealing with foolishness. I come on here to connect. I come on here to gain new subscribers, and I come on here to make money. Okay? Because I got bills. Hopefully my Shein haul will be here this week, and I can do a Shein haul for you all on Sunday. I'm trying to do this haul. It's a glamour haul, but it's going to be a glamour haul for the upcoming holidays, for Christmas and New Year's Eve. What to wear for New Year's Eve, and how to look glamorous while doing it. It's going to be a good video. I hope the clothes fit. And here's the funny thing. One of the dresses that I ordered, my mother wore that dress Saturday. You all saw in the pictures that was that long black dress with the gold on it. When she came downstairs, saying, my mother is so beautiful. My mother drives me nuts sometimes, okay? As mothers do. And I drive her nuts as well, okay? But that's my girl. And one of the things I noticed about my mother Saturday that had me very emotional. My mother had stopped going to church for a while because we went to Bishop Brazier Church, Apostolic Church of God. It's a very, very large church. And we had been going to that church for years. I first started going to that church, and then my mother and my sister joined. But before that, we went to this church where my mother was the treasurer of the church, Manor Community Church on the south side of Chicago, 99th and Crandon. We were a member there for over 30 some years. And I had started going to that church when I was a kid. I got baptized at that church. I sung in a youth choir. I was the Women's Guild president. I was a choir director. I was on the usher board. I worked in the church as a young person. I worked. Everything that went on in the church, in Manor Community, we were a part of it. My mother did not believe in you not being a servant in the church. Okay, my mother was like, no, you're not going to just sit here and come to church. You're going to get involved and be involved. And it is important that young people that are in church be involved in the church. You need something to do. And so I told Christopher, you need to get involved in the church. You need to get involved in your church. I told him that. And I was telling him all the things that I was a part of. We had a fashion show. We had, I enjoyed church when I was a young person. I really, really did. It was a way of belonging and having a community and building friendships. I sung in the youth choir for years. Sung in the youth choir. As I said, I was the president of the Women's Guild for 2 or 3 years. I started this thing in my church called Women's Week. And instead of inviting outside ministers or evangelists, I asked the women in the church to participate and to do a sermon. And when I tell you that brought so many people out, we did Black History Month in February. Everybody, all the choir members got up and read what a black person invented. So I started that. And I was a young person, but I had a lot of ideas, right? I had a lot of ideas, and they really liked that about me. And when I brought Women's Week, they loved it. So what made me so emotional Saturday, because we stopped going to being so active in church and going to church. Maybe, like, I would say right before COVID started. So we still was going to Apostolic Church of God. And then my father died. Well, let me take it back. Let me tell you when I stopped going to church. I stopped going to church after I had Christopher. I got pregnant with Christopher in 2007. I had him in 2008. And when I got big pregnant, I wasn't going to church no more. Okay? I was embarrassed that I was pregnant and I didn't have a husband. And I didn't want people asking me no questions. So I stopped going. Then after I had Christopher, I went back to church. And I went to church all the way up until, I think, yeah, right around before my father died. I was going. I was actively going. I would take Chris to church with me. And funny thing is, my ex-boyfriend, who I had been dating, I had dated him for 14 years, was really hurt that I had gotten pregnant, okay, by somebody else. But, you know, we were broken up. And I was like, I don't know why you hurt, but you didn't want to get married. But, so that was the last time that we had really been to church. And then when my father passed, we didn't go as much. Well, what I was really happy to see was that my mother has been going to this new church. Like I said, we visit this church many, many times. We actually, the church that my son and my mother go to now, we had my father's funeral in that church, okay? So I was really glad to see how my mother is a part of church again, and how she was introducing us to everybody. They know me, but they don't know my sister. And my mother does the reading every third Sunday now, and she's very active, you know, and she's very involved. And I just saw like the zeal in her come back, you know. When my father died in 2016, my mother really, she went through a thing. To be married to someone, whether it's good or bad, but to be married to somebody for 50 years and now they are gone. Like I said, good or bad or whatever, that's a deep thing. And I really believe that she went through a state of depression. And she just kind of like, you know, she did stuff, you know, but she just wasn't active. You know, she wasn't, she just, and you know, to have someone die in your home, to die in your house, is different when a person died in a hospital. But he died at home, on the couch, in the den. And that's where she sits. That's where she's always at. I remember he died in October, and nobody would go in the den. We would sit up in the living room because the den was his spot. That's where he was always at. But he died there. And I remember right after he died in October. That summer, the summer of 2017, her air conditioner went out. And it was real hot in the house. And so instead of her going downstairs to the den where the air conditioner was. She stayed up in that hot room. And I said, why would you stay up here in this hot room and not go downstairs where the air conditioner was? Well, I forgot that, not thinking like, you know, he died down there on that couch. And she wouldn't go down there. So I'll never forget. That was in July. She said, and there wasn't nothing wrong with that couch. She said, I'm getting rid of this couch. Now, here's the interesting thing. Normally, when people die, they lose bodily fluids, right? They lose. That wasn't the case with my dad. It was very, very weird. Okay, it was very weird. It's hard to talk about. Anyway, so she said, I'm getting rid of this couch. And so she did. And she said, I said, well, what are you gonna do? She said, I'm not gonna give it to anybody, but I'm gonna have Greg, my sister's husband, and Timothy, my nephew. She said, and Chris. She said, I'm gonna have them come and just sit it out, and I'm gonna get me a new couch. She said, because I cannot be in this room and sitting on this couch and knowing that this is where he passed. She said, I just can't do it. So then I understood why she stayed up in the hot room and why she didn't come down to the den. So my sister had offered for her to come to her house. She was like, Ma, you don't need to be in this hot room. But anyway, we ended up getting her a new air conditioner. They put it in. And so she got a new couch. Really pretty couch. And the one she has now, it reclines and everything. But you know, she didn't do anything for the longest. She stopped going to church. She was just always in the house, always in the house, always in the house. And now she has a brand new car that she bought last year. She bought her a 2025 Toyota RAV4, fully loaded. She bought a brand new car. She's going to church every Sunday. She's involved again. And she was just walking all around the church and saying, this is, telling us, this is so-and-so. And girl, let me tell you, she made that. And she was just talking and chattering and everything. So when she walked away, my sister and I was sitting at the table. And I said to my sister, I said, I'm so glad that she has found purpose again. That she seems like life has come back for her. And I was just watching her. I was just watching her as she was moving about. And I was just so happy, you know, because I've seen my mother go through some rough things when her parents were murdered. I was there for that. And then I was there for when my father passed, and I watched her. And my mother was always trying to be strong for everybody, you know, didn't want to break down. You know, I'm sure that my mother has had days when we have not been there that she probably has just screamed and boo-hooed, cried because she misses her husband. You know, they didn't have a mushy type of a relationship. You know what I'm saying? They didn't. They didn't have a mushy type of relationship. But I know my father loved my mother, and my mother loved my father. They loved each other. Whether they were still in love or not, you know, I don't know. But she loved him, and he had become her best friend. They did a lot together. They did a lot more together than I thought, because I was at work. I wasn't around. They took Christopher to school. They picked Christopher. I would pick Christopher up in the evening, but the days that I would have to work till 4:30, they would pick him up. They would pick him up. They would go to the grocery store together. He would take my mother everywhere. My mother had a doctor's appointment, he would take her. She had a dentist appointment, he would take her. He would wait in the car for her. So they did a lot. I think they still got on each other's nerves to a certain degree, but they did a lot. They did a lot. And I don't think that in my mother's mind, I don't think when my father got sick with pneumonia, I do not think that my mother thought my father was going to die. I don't think that she thought that, you know, because when you have a spouse and you are that connected to someone, you know, you usually can see and know and feel when something is really going on with that person, which she did know that something was going on with him. But I don't think my mother never said to me, your father's not doing well. I don't think he's going to make it. She never said that to me. She was just as shocked as the rest of us were. And I think for her, having been married to him, I think in her mind, she was like, why didn't I know this? Why didn't I sense this? Even though she did say that there was times that, when he was sick and he came home from the hospital, because they wanted him to go into, my father was stubborn. He was hard-headed and he was stubborn, like a lot of you men are. And so they wanted him to do rehab, and he wouldn't do it. He said, I'm going home. He didn't want to be in the hospital. He was just that way. Just like we didn't know that he had COPD. We didn't know he had COPD. He didn't tell us that. We found that out after looking in some medical papers. My mother, when he died, my mother went to he had a little folder where he kept all his doctor's notes and stuff like that, and that's how she found out. But they wanted him to go into rehab, and he didn't. And I think had he went into, because I think my father had a stroke too, I really do. Because I remember them asking in the hospital, because they looked at his chart, they said, well, Mr. Cotton, what about the COPD, or how are you doing with that? And my sister was happened to be in the room. I wasn't in there. And she said, I remember them asking him that. And she said he hurried up and, avoided, shut the lady down. I said, yeah, because he didn't want you to know that that's what he had. And then we understood why he got pneumonia. Because when you have COPD, that's a lung disease. It's a lung disease. And, you have to be careful when you already have a lung condition. And he wasn't at that point where he needed oxygen or anything like that. He had kidney disease. We didn't know about that. He hid all of this stuff from us. He hid stuff, even from his own wife. But that's what men do. They hide a lot of stuff. They don't tell you, because he knew that my mother was going to be on him. He knew that we was going to be on him. So he kept it to himself. He kept it to himself. So I was glad to see my mother walking around and introducing us to people. And, she just seemed like her purpose is back. Because over the last 9 years, I've seen my mother go through a thing, to go through a thing. And, the thing, well, I'm saying a thing, but the thing is that when you lose a partner, a life partner like that, she told me, she said, I've been with him longer than I was with my mother. And I didn't think about that, but that's true. She my mother has lost two sisters. One that she was extremely close to, the sister that was right up under her, and then her baby sister, the one I was close with both of them. She's lost two sisters. She's lost a mother to murder. She's lost a stepfather to murder. Everybody always lean on her, and this is what I'm gonna say. Check on your strong friends. Because the strong ones are the ones who break fast. That's why my girlfriend right now, who's going through this with her sister and her sister having cancer, I check on her every day and ask her how she's doing. Because everybody lean on her. So check on your strong friends. Check on your strong family members. The ones who do all and is there for everybody. Check on them. Because they may look strong, they may act strong, but they the ones who you need to check on. Seriously. So I was really happy to see that my mother, was up and about, and she was walking around, and she just seemed like her purpose has come back. And I'm happy for her. I'm happy for her. And I mean, she's at church every Sunday. She's like, I'm going to church. Because it's what she needs. It's her strength. That's why I say this all the time. God will give you strength. He will give you strength if you just trust him. If you just trust him, he will give you strength. And that's why I say all of this foolishness, I don't hate nobody over here to come over here and say something. I don't even hate KK. Girl, I love you. Yeah, I know I talked about you and I drug you and all of that, but you deserve that. But even in the midst of all of that, I still love you. I still love you because I realize that there's something missing in your life that you need. And I don't know what you need or how you need it, but I love you. I love you. I wish you the best in everything. You can't come back here no more, but I love you. And I hope that God touches you in a special way, that you will get the help that you need, that you will find out why you so evil and why you so mean and why you so unhappy in your life, that God will help you with that. But I love you. I love you. I love you because I realize that there's a problem. Just like the rest of the people that get on the live. I love y'all. But you just can't be here. Just like I blocked Keith last week. I love you, but you can't be here. You cannot be here because you cannot come and disturb my peace and the other people who enjoy the content. It's not fair to them. And I won't let it happen. You can't come and mess with Metal Shrub. You can't come and mess with Alyssa. You can't come and mess with Brenda or mess with anybody else. You can't do it. You can't do it. You can't come and mess with people. It's not happening here. I'm sorry that you all are so miserable in your lives. I can't help you. I just cannot help you. Only thing I can do is tell you to go find purpose in your life. But you can't come and disturb my peace or anybody else's peace that's here. You just cannot. You may not like me. It's okay. You may not care for me. It's okay. It's okay. But what you ain't gonna do, what you ain't gonna do is you're not gonna come here and be rude and nasty and mean to me and anybody else. That's not gonna happen. That's not gonna happen. It's just not. It's getting hot in here. So I hope you all have a great day today. I hope I haven't taken up too much of your time. I'm gonna let you go. I'm gonna go on and upload this video. And I will see you all later. I am and do plan to go live. And I'm gonna try to go live every day this week. I'm gonna try to go live every day this week. Yes, I am. Because we're coming to the end of the month and I need to make a certain amount. I'm up to 206. I want to try to get to 400 because you all just don't know. That money helps me. Whether it helps me go to the grocery store, whether it helps me pay a bill, whether it helps me buy clothes for content, being monetized on YouTube helps me. And you all know what the economy is doing. And, you know, so I'm going to try to come live every day this week. I am. I'm going to go live. I went live yesterday. So my intention is to go live Sunday to Sunday. I'm going to do 7 days. I'm going to go live 7 days. 7 days this week. So I went live yesterday and I'm going to go live all the way through next Sunday. That's the intention. Now I do have a funeral to go to on Saturday. So I might not be able to come on live Saturday evening because like I said, I got this funeral and I don't intend, I'm not going to the repast. I'm just going to the funeral, the viewing and the funeral. You know, that's of my friend, my girlfriend. But I am going to her funeral. I have to go to her funeral. I have to go. So my plan is to go live every day this week. That is the plan. Chris got a haircut appointment, but I'm still gonna go live. Only day I might not be able to go live, now that I think about it, might be Friday because I have a hair appointment. So I might miss Friday and Saturday, but I know I'm gonna go live every day this week. My mother's so funny. She was telling my sister while we was in church, she was like, I didn't know who she was talking about. We was sitting there at the table at the party. She gonna say, yeah, she ain't no company because she be out there. And I didn't know who she was talking about because I was sitting we were all sitting at the same table, but I was sitting like kind of like a little ways away from them. And so I said, are you talking about me? And she was like, mm-hmm. She was like, she ain't no company girl. She was like, she be out there on live, out there in the car on live, and then she come in and she eat and then she fall asleep. I said, Mama, really? She said, yep, really. I said, you know I need these coins, girl. You know I need these coins. Stop playing. She's like, I know. So anyway, you all, I'm going to let you all go. I'll see you all later on live. Hopefully this video will upload. But today is Monday, the 17th. I know because I just paid that $269 ComEd bill. Did you all get your property taxes? Because I got my property tax bill Saturday. I was like, Jesus, $572.60 or something like that. It comes out of my escrow, but still. So anyway, yeah, I got my my property tax bill. Some people say they pay $2,000 a year on property taxes. $2,000. And it gives you a breakdown of how much of that money that you spending, how much is for this, that, and the other, where all your property taxes is going to. And they do have a payment plan system too. They were showing that, where you can set up a payment plan online. It's a shame. You got to pay property taxes. And you still got these big ass holes, and the infrastructure in Chicago is horrible. And we got money was allocated money for that when Kamala Harris was vice president. She was here in Chicago. It's still one of the most raggediest streets and road structures in the country. I've been here all my life. I've been driving over the same holes since I was a little girl. I'm not lying to y'all. Because like I said, we have snow. And the salt that they put down, it just eats the concrete. I mean, big holes. And you hit one of them damn holes and you pop your tire or bust your rim or whatever. Just like the rim, I got a rim right now that's off my car. Because where they came to fix... something in over when I was living in an apartment, and they left something sticking out, and I backed up and ripped my rim, and then it fell off. I haven't replaced this hubcap yet. I don't care either. I just want this car to run. That's it. So anyway, y'all have a great day. Have a beautiful day. And I will see you all in the next video, the next live stream, which will be later on this evening. Okay? All right. Peace, love, and blessings. Bye. Mwah.